Okay, everybody had a chance before the break to share some of what you've accomplished as well as what some of your goals and objectives are for this coming year. And a few of you may have heard this at the RIA meeting here a few weeks back, but most of you haven't heard that. I'm going to talk a little bit about planning and putting a business plan together. And just a little bit of a preface is that some of the one of the popular things to do this time of year is to make New Year's resolution. And a resolution, and here's where I'm going to want to flip chart and write resolution, and then I want to break it down. So I'll probably walk over here, Jonathan. Am I right? Resolution. And then I'm going to break that down and say resolution is a re-solution, a solution to an opportunity or resolving a problem. So you think about making a resolution, it's just not something that's an annual type of event. A resolution is for you to think about, how might I address an issue, be it a positive or a negative. So we're going to take some time today and talk a little bit more about what goes into, in business, what goes into making resolutions or goals, objectives, or coming up with solutions to capitalize on the opportunities that are before us or address some of the weaknesses or problems that we have. So we're going to talk about business planning, and in any business, doesn't matter what you're doing, business, you can stumble through, or you can make a plan to say, here's what I want to accomplish, and here's how I want to accomplish my goals. And not planning is basically planning to fail. How many of us here have, in years past, developed a business plan? And how many of us have a plan, even if it's just maybe informal, at least in your mind, you've got some goals and objectives. And if you can get those down on paper, how many of us have put our plans, our thoughts for the new year on a piece of paper? Well, that's good. And what we want to talk about is, now that we've captured the thought, how do we develop that into what we would truly call a business plan, not just a list. If you write things down, you've got a list. If you can do some of the things we're talking about here, we need to not only set our goals, but we need to establish timelines and quantify what our goals and objectives are, so that we can measure them and tell how and if we're making progress toward the goals that we've set. So with our goals, we start out long term. And before we develop our business plan, we should be thinking, what do I want to do long term? And in setting a business goal for 2013, be it in real estate, which is what we're going to talk about and focus on, or in any business that you may be involved with, if you have a day job, or if you have a hobby and you've got a goal and an objective you want to reach there. But where do I want to be long term? So if I put this into real estate terms, you might want to think, where do I want to be in 20 years? I'd like to be financially independent. Okay, that's sort of a loose, fuzzy objective. So when I said on my previous slide about quantifying that, that would mean, what is going to be financial independence for me in real estate? And this is just purely for example. I'm going to say $5 million in real estate holdings in the next 10 years. That's going to be my objective.
20 up there.
Excuse me?
It's 20 up there.
What did I just say?
10.
10? Okay, thank you. I'll try to pay attention. You throw an eraser at me. And again, when we're thinking long term, we then want to break these goals down. It's like eating the elephant. How do you eat an elephant? 20 years being financially independent, sort of like eating the elephant. But if I can break down where I want to be into smaller increments, then it makes it a little bit more attainable. So we want to start thinking of our business plan and our business goals in small incremental pieces, such as the next year. Break the next year down into the next 90 days. Take the next 90 days, if you so choose, and break it down into, what am I going to do this month or in the next 30 days? When we want to do that so that we're mapping out a path to get to where we want to go. Your business plan is your roadmap to where you want to go with your business. So let's start thinking about, what am I going to do in 2013, or maybe I'll try to say the next 12 months. That way this is for us, you guys. That way we're not locked into a timetable.
We can use this next
We can
year.
use this 4 years from now, because it's going to be that good. Okay. And what steps then do we need to make some progress toward where we want to end up long term? When we think about real estate, I think about parts of my plan, and you may come up with some others, but some major areas to think about are going to be, I need to generate revenue. So we're going to talk about how are we going to generate revenue. We're going to break that down. We're going to market. We're going to have a power team, and by a power team, some people call this a dream team. It's basically what or who are the resources around you that are going to help you, guide you to your end goals. Are there people that you're going to bounce things off of, give you some insights, get you on track when you're off track, or help you implement part of your plan? Networking I've also put down here because in our particular interest with real estate, a network is invaluable to your not only finding properties, but finding tenants, finding contractors, finding buyers, sellers, doesn't matter. Network, is, I think you'll find, if you haven't already, is going to be one of your most powerful tools it ought to be a part of your business plan.